Hello students, welcome to Triveni Memorial Senior Secondary School online classes. Today we are going to start chapter 10 of unit 3, Basic Computer Operations. In this chapter we are going to learn the basic working of the computer, that is how to start a computer, how to shut down a computer and other things about it. As you all know that the computer system comprises of two things, that is hardware and software. Hardware are the physical devices that can be seen and touched, and software are a set of programs. Both the hardware and software are interdependent on each other. If any of these is not functioning properly, the computer is of no use. So we will learn about software and its types and many other things. So how do we start a computer? When we start a computer, we just press the UPS button, then the CPU button and then the monitor button. When we start a computer, first of all the booting process begins. Booting means it checks whether all the hardware and software which are installed on the computer are working properly or not. Then it also loads all the files which are needed to run the system. And the next step in the booting process is called as post. Post means power on self test. It means as soon as the power is switched on, it checks itself whether all the devices connected to it are properly working or not working. After the post is completed, the contents of the CMOS means complementary metal oxide semiconductor chip are checked. Now what is this chip about? It is a small amount of memory which is on the motherboard that stores the BIOS settings. BIOS is basic input output system. So the primary function of BIOS is to boot up the operating system on the computer. Booting means checking all the hardware and software devices and loading the necessary files which are needed to start a computer. Now once all the steps get completed, the operating system is loaded into the RAM. RAM is the primary memory, and it then starts the execution of the statements which are needed to start the computer. Once the booting process is over, it asks for the password whichever you have set for the computer, and then the main screen, that is the desktop screen, is visible to you on your computer. This is the way we start a computer, and this is the way the functioning of the computer is done after starting. Then we have some steps for shutting down a computer. Suppose you are working in MS Word or any other application software. So in that case, if you have not saved the file, then it will ask you to save it, and all the open application programs get closed. In case it is already saved, the operating system shuts down by closing its program services and all the processes which are running in background, and then the power management hardware turns off the power of the system. Then after that you can turn off the computer's power supply, right? This is the procedure for shutting down a computer. Now the next topic is operating system. As we know that computer is a machine, it cannot do anything on its own. We need to give the instructions to the computer so that instructions can be changed into machine language, and then it can be handled upon. So the operating system is like a interface which acts like an interface between the user and the hardware. Now user is giving the instructions, suppose in English or Hindi language, and computer understands the machine language. So there should be some intermediator which converts that user language into the machine language. So that is your operating system, which acts as an interface. It is an intermediator between them. So it is like the principal of your school. Like in the school, the principal has various responsibilities. He has to manage the schools, he has to supervise the students, teachers and all the workers. He has also to maintain the discipline. So the same way it happens is, if there is no principal in school, who will do all these work? Everything will be mismanaged. Same way in the operating system also, same thing is there. Like the hardware provides the user with the basic physical resources to work upon, and the application system provides the user to perform a variety of functions on the computer. Some of the popular operating system are Windows, which you must have seen in your school computers. Mac OS, it is the operating system of the Apple computers. Linux and DOS. So what is the function of the operating system? The main work of the operating system is to manage and share the hardware and the software resources of a computer system. Then provide the interface to the users to communicate with the computer system, to communicate with each application about the status of the operation, that is to handle the work of all the programs which are running in the system, and to secure the system and block the unauthorized access to the system. That is, there should not be any virus, worm or threat to the system. So this is also the working, that it prevents the system from such type of unauthorized access, right? Then we have the types of operating system. Now there are various types of operating system, and slowly and gradually with the advent in the technology, the various operating system came into effect. First is the single user operating system. When we talk about the single user operating system, it supports only one user and one work can be done at a time. For example, Microsoft Windows 3.1, Microsoft Windows 95 and Microsoft DOS. Then we have the graphical user interface, the operating system in which the graphic based interaction was there, like Windows graph operating system, Mac OS. These are the graphic user interface operating systems. Then we have the multi-user operating system. As the name suggests, multi-user means many people can work at a time on a single system. Like it can be done in Linux, Unix and Microsoft Windows 2000 version onwards. Then we have the multitasking operating system, which can perform more than one work at the same time. Task means opening any application program and working upon it. Like you must have seen, you are working in MS Word or PowerPoint and any other software, and at the background games are being played. So that is multitasking operating system. Then we have the multi-threading operating system. So these are the system in which the different part of an application runs simultaneously. Suppose you have opened any software and one of the part is doing some other work and other part is doing some other work. So that is multi-threading operating system. So these are our types of operating systems: single user, graphical user interface, multi-user, multitasking and multi-threading, right? Then we have disk operating system. So disk operating system was an operating system which was developed by Timothy Peterson. Originally it was written by Timothy Peterson, and it is a type of system software. It is an operating system. It runs from hard disk drive. The instructions for this were fed in the hard disk drive. In this type of black color screen comes, and whatever you write comes in the white color, and it does not have graphical icons, but in these we need to write the statements, and every statement has a particular work. Whatever statement or command we have given, as soon as we press the enter key, accordingly the action will be performed. Okay, but due to its being command line interface, it become a little less like active, and now we have the graphical user interface operating system much in use, right? So the main person who wrote this originally was Timothy Peterson. Then we have Linux. Linux is the operating system that is open source and free. It means it can be freely downloaded from the internet. And who developed it? It was developed by Linus Torvalds in the year 1991. It is an alternative to the other costly operating systems which are not open source, and it has some features like it is portable, can be taken from one place to another. It is multi-user and multi-programming. It has shell. It is open source and free. It has a hierarchical file system like parent and child type. Then it has a high level of security also. Okay. Next we have the Windows operating system. So we know that Microsoft Windows is a series of graphical user interface operating system, and this is the widely used operating system. It is used in schools, offices, companies and at many places. So it was the first graphical user interface for IBM compatible PCs, which soon dominated the PC market. Next we have is mobile operating system. Till now we have talked about the operating system for the computers. Now we have the operating system for the phones also. The smartphones which you use at your homes, they have the operating system as Android. You must have seen a green color robot is there. That is the logo for the Android operating system. It is an open source platform which was developed by Android Incorporation in October 2003, and later on it was purchased by Google Incorporation in 2005. So this is the Android operating system on which our smartphones work. Also there is one more operating system, Symbian operating system. The widely used is the Android one. The other one is the Symbian operating system, which is specifically created for smartphones. Who developed it? It was developed by the Symbian Limited, currently maintained by Accenture company, and it was used by Nokia phones. It was used in Nokia phones and also used by many major mobile phone brands like Samsung, Motorola and Sony Ericsson. Then we have the iOS. Now iOS, all of you know that it is an operating system which is developed by Apple, and it is the most advanced operating system. Many people use it for the iPhones, iPads and iPad touch tablets and phones. Then we have the Windows mobile operating system also. Windows is for the computer also and for the phones also, like Nokia has some Windows phones in which many other companies also have, in which the Windows operating system was there. So the functionality was little different from the Android operating system. It was designed to look and operate similar to the desktop version of Microsoft Windows. Okay, so the smartphones which are there with the touch screen are supported with the Windows Mobile Professional version, and mobile phones without touch screen which were there, they run on the Windows Mobile Standard version. And the last version of Windows Mobile operating system is it is Windows 10 Mobile, which runs on the mobile phones and the tablets, right? So this was all about procedure for opening and shutting down a computer and about the operating system. We have learnt about the various types of operating systems, the functions of operating system for the computer and operating system for the mobile phone as well. Now we have the exercise part of this chapter. First question is, the name of Ubuntu's graphical user interface is dash. Unity, Bash, Kernel or Shell. So the name of Ubuntu's graphical user interface is Unity. Second is, the dash checks the functioning of all the connected hardware including primary and secondary storage device. So this is being checked by POST, Power On Self Test. It checks the hardware and all the secondary and primary storage devices. Third is, dash operating system runs on computer which are located in different geographical areas. Of course, the computers which are connected through network at the different places that are being managed by the distributed operating system. Fourth is, the small labeled pictures or symbols present on the desktop are known as icons. The operating system has two components, dash and dash. It has software and hardware. Now we have fill in the blanks. The first is, the dash operating system allows different parts of application or program to run simultaneously. So the answer of this one is multi-threading operating system. In this, some of the options given in the hints are wrong. So the correct answer is multi-threading operating system. Second is, the dash stores the deleted files in Ubuntu. Ubuntu operating system stores the deleted files in the trash folder. So the answer of the second is trash. Third is, a batch file consists of a series of dash to be executed by the command line interpreter. So it consists of a series of commands. Then those files are organized in a dash or an inverted tree-like structure. The answer for this one is directory. Then Linux was developed by dash in the year 1991. Linux was developed by Linus Torvalds, right? So these are to be done in the book. Now we have the question answers. The first question is, what is system software? So system software is a software which manages the overall working of our computer. It checks whether all the components are connected properly or not, and the example for this can be operating system, which acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. Next we have a second question, what do you mean by the multitasking operating system? As we have discussed in the chapter, that multitasking operating system is a type of operating system in which we can do more than one task at a time. For example, Microsoft Windows, Linux, etc. Next is third question, who wrote the original disk operating system? So we have discussed this during the explanation. The original disk operating system was written by Timothy Patterson. Fourth question is, what do you understand by multi-threading operating system? So multi-threading operating system is a system in which allows the different parts of an application to run simultaneously. Then what security measures does an operating system provide to the computer? Question number 6. The security measures which operating system provide to a computer is, it prevents from unauthorized access, it prevents it from viruses, worms and threats which are coming from the outside world. Next we have question number 7. Explain the directory structure of DOS with the help of an example. So here is the directory structure of DOS. It is just like the one in the Windows. The drive C represents the root directory written as the C drive. and the nested directories are the subdirectories, and everything looks like a tree except the roots are at the top. The directory that hosts the subdirectory is called the parent directory. Here you can see that C drive is there, which is a root directory, that is the main directory. Then we have the subdirectories, that is the public directory. Then the subdirectories of the public one, that is the txt and send. And then one more subdirectory is the my folder. So when listing the directory content using dir refers to the parent directory. So if it says if you are at C, Windows, desktop, it refers to the desktop, and this dot dot refers to the Windows. Okay, so this is the directory structure of DOS. Just make it in your notebook, right? So if you type cd like this, if you open disk operating system and if you write cd like this, then after you reach the root directory, you will get invalid directory. So with this we have completed this chapter. Do all the questions in the notebook, and thank you students. Have a good day.